Hi everyone! Today I'm going to show you how I make this Homer Simpson. I'm using some blue modeling paste. Roll out a ball and then use your palm kind of like halfway down the board, kind of like you want to slim it down like the shape in the video now. We are making his trousers. So once you get to the shape like that, use a Justin tool, the pointy end side, and then draw the line to define where the the trousers were underneath the belly, and then use your fingers to smooth out all the sharp edges. And then just draw a line in the middle to define the legs, trousers legs, and then cut off the end to make the hem for the trousers. I mean, you can cut it in the middle to make the legs more defined, but this is a simplified version which I like. And then now you kind of like cut where the trousers, the top of the trousers really. You should have a kind of like a picture of Homer in front of you, and then you can kind of like know where the kind of things start and where things end. So in front of me there is a picture on the screen that I am following to kind of make him. Now use some black modeling paste, roll out a ball, and then cut it in half. And we are making the shoe. By the way, this is a kind of you can lay him flat, or you can stand him right against the cake. So it's a kind of like a two version. If you want him to be completely 3D, like the back of him is not flat, so just make sure when you make him, you don't put it on the table, you put it on a foam or something while you're making him. And then you build from the shoe up, then you put him into the polystyrene instead of building him flat like this. I mean, the principle is the same, but I'm making a flat Simpson, like the back of him is flat, so I will build him on the table like this. So if you want him standing, so when you are putting the trousers onto the shoe, make sure you kind of like do it vertical and poke through the sticks into the polystyrene dummy. So just add some water or edible glue, and then push the cocktail stick through. Cut out a blue strip using the same blue modeling paste. Add some water. Because this is kind of like, you won't see the back, so you don't really have to go all the way around. But I did it anyway. now we move on to the body using some white modeling paste. The method kind of the same as how I made the trousers. It's just it's kind of like upside down. Turn it upside down and then cut the white. So just roll a ball and then kind of halfway of the ball, you make the end slimmer. And then once you are happy with that, just make sure the width of the widest part of the top is the same kind of width as the top of the trousers. Once I put it together, you will kind of know what I mean by that. So just make sure there is no sharp edges, so round off all the edges. I mean, there are other ways to do this, but I kind of like simplify it the way I think is the easiest to do. So now just connect both pieces with a cocktail stick, or you call it toothpick. Add some water so that they glue together. So this is the bit, this is what I mean, like the width of the body. Make sure it's not too much bigger than the width of top of the trousers. I mean, it's slightly bigger is okay. It's just something to look out for. And then push in the cocktail stick. So this is what I mean. It can be the figure can be standing up, but then because I'm building it this way, the back of the body will be flat. So just now in the video, I'm using a pointy tool. You can use the back of your paint brushes to do the same. You don't have to have this tool with you to do this. So what I'm doing now, I'm using the tool against the paste to make the neck wider and the top of the neck a bit slimmer, like the wall of the paste. And then find the middle point and cut a V shape out of the paste. And that's the collar of the top. Moving on with the head, using some yellow modeling paste, roll out a sausage and roll out a little oval shape for the nose, and use some white edible bubble as the eyes. Same again, you will need to refer the size back to the Homer that you want to make. In the video now, I am using the Dresden tool to kind of add some contour on the face. I mean, you don't really have to do this step really, but I thought I just want to give it a little bit of a shape on top of the eye. So I just slightly pressed on top of the eye and give it some indent really. And then use some edible pen. I mean, you will find edible pen is a little bit difficult to draw on the edible bubbles. I mean, it all depends on what brand you use. If you are not using it, I mean, if you're not eating Homer, the figurine you're making, I mean, you can use some permanent marker really. And then now we are making the mouth. It's just a color brown, and I just kind of add some white to it. So make sure you don't press it too hard, because you still want kind of like the volume for it. If you press too hard, the mouth will be too flat. The mouth area will be too flat. So use the Dresden tool and mark out where the mouth is. While you're doing that, make sure when you press down, remember to squeeze the side of the head, because when you're putting kind of weight onto the paste, it will flatten the shape. So don't forget to do that. Just keep on checking the shape while you are manipulating the paste on the face. To join the head to the body, so I mean, don't cut off too much at the end, how I cut in the video. So you want to have enough of the yellow paste to go into the neck. And you can see that it's a bit long, so just spend a little bit of time to make that slimmer to go in. I mean, if you find this difficult, then you can make the neckline a little bit wider, then it's easier for you to go in. So before you put it in, just remember to give it a little kind of like he doesn't have a chin really. It's kind of like straight into the top. So just give it a little gentle curve from underneath the mouth and then the neck. I forgot to say earlier, when you put the cocktail stick into the head, because there's already a cocktail stick in the body, just make sure the stick in the body is not in the way when you put another stick into the body. I always use a plier to put something in instead of my fingers, because sometimes when you push it in, it's just harder with finger really. So now roll out 2 little ball and then make them kind of pointy, and then poke a hole onto each side, and then the pointy end where the paste go in become the anchor point for the paste not to move around. I find this the best way to put ears in. And then now we are moving on to making the collar. Same again, using white modeling paste. Just cut out a strip. At this point, the whole thing is still quite soft, so just be careful when picking it up. And I noticed the head is a bit tall, so I have just pushed it back down, probably because I keep on squeezing the head. It kind of misshaped. That's why I said, like, keep on checking when you are moving him around. To make the donut, I just mix up some kind of like light brown, kind of beigey base color. Roll out a ball to the size of the donut, and then I slightly flatten it down. And then use a round cutter, dab some corn flour to stop it sticking, and then just press the hole. I mean, you can use a cling film on top of the donut, and then you push it through, but I don't have cling film with me, so I just do it this way. So after that, you want to get rid of all the sharp edges. So use the back of your paintbrush, push all the sharp edges in, and then just push it around, and then at the end just push the paintbrush in. Oh, I forgot to film this. All I did is roll out a pink sausage and then just flatten onto the top of the donut. I didn't realize until I was making Homer that he only had 4 fingers. So I was quite surprised. So same again, just round off all the edges. But as you can see, the second finger is a bit thick, so I elongate and then cut it and then round off the edges again. For the sleeves, just use some white modeling paste and then roll out a ball. As you can see in the video, I'm doing 2 sleeves in one. And then just cut it in half and then round off the edges. And then just join it with cocktail stick again. And then just kind of like press it against the body. I mean, obviously you need to add water or glue to stick it on. So with the arm which is holding the donut, just bend the fingers. And then I want to make it a little bit more kind of realistic. So like he have take a bite. And I just stick it with water or glue again. With the hair, I am using 26 gauge wire, and I have used some black permanent pen and then just color the wire black to make his hair. I mean, you can use black modeling paste to do it, but I thought like I want the hair look like drawing, like lines. So make it like a zigzag for the side, and then you just bend the wire like that, and then cut it into size, like not too long. You don't want to poke it on the other side of the head. And then add some water or edible glue, and then just poke it into the side of the head. Repeat that to the other side. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you like it, please share it, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Bye bye.